Marginalisation isn't an abstract concept, it's about the violation of basic human rights. The constitutions of most countries and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights talk about the right of all people to education.
While much has been achieved in the quest for universal primary education, governments across the globe are failing to tackle marginalisation and to make sure that certain communities are not excluded or certain children are not left behind. In Kenya, many children of school-going age are out of school due to their nomadic lifestyles.
The problem of education in nomadic pastoral areas is quite huge. We have figures as high as 400,000 children who are school-going age that are not in school. And this is largely because for nomadic pastoralist parents, they cannot afford to take their children to school, and therefore most of the time they're making the choice to keep their children with them.
Following the drafting of a nomadic education policy in 2008, the government modified formal schooling systems to suit the nomadic calendar through the introduction of mobile schools. The communities were charged with recruiting teachers while government provided grants to run the schools.
From a nomadic setting, a school is not a building. Anywhere you teach or learn is a school. The feature of a mobile school is movement. Mobile, as the name suggests, is movement. That is, you need to move with families as they look for the pasture and the water. You move with them. Most of the problems as a teacher of a mobile school, I have had choices to make in moving far away apart, which families to follow. Sometimes, basically most of the time, we limit ourselves on the number, which has the bigger number moving to one side, and then we follow that.
A total of 91 mobile schools have been established across the vast arid areas of Kenya and registered an impressive enrollment of at least 11,000 new students. To safeguard this achievement, the government set up low-cost boarding schools to act as a transition from nomadic education to normal schooling. This has resulted in the continuation of school for children who would otherwise have dropped out and a higher enrollment for girls.
When I finish my school, I want to be a doctor to help people in my community. Children in my community, they are feeling very sorry for themselves because they are regretting about the way the education is.
Overcoming marginalization in education is not just about what goes on in class or even the quality of education. The global recession and rising poverty levels are forcing many poor households in urban areas to cut back on education spending. Many parents have to make a hard choice between feeding their families and educating their children.
Hunger really affects school because as a teacher, when you teach the kids that are hungry, they don't concentrate. Some they just sleep, they don't want to talk or to mingle, they're just dull.
The hard fact is that millions of parents, like parents in this slum here in Kibera, can't afford to send their kids to school. The schools themselves aren't being adequately supported by government, so they're not delivering a good quality education. And I think the real challenge for governments across the world, but especially in sub-Saharan Africa, is to close this gap.
Schools can make a great difference to the lives of marginalized children. And by consciously targeting these children, governments and the international community will be one step closer to ensuring education for all.